Good day everyone, this is Ed Psychology. For today's video, let's talk about Endgame. Last video I made was about the power of opposition, and we will apply that lesson here on this given position. The topic for today is how to stop the king and a promoting pawn. There are two techniques that you have to learn. That is the lesson that we will discuss today. Two techniques to stop the pawn and the king to get a new queen and to checkmate me after. So we will play white here. Before that, let's just read the quotation from Mason here. Every pawn is a potential queen, so never ever underestimate a pawn, because once it becomes a queen, it will checkmate you. So you have to run for your life. Run. Run. Okay, so let's proceed with our lesson for today. How many times did you encounter this one? I'm pretty sure you have multiple times encountered this one. And how many times did you lose this one? This is actually a draw game, but when I was a beginner, I kept losing this, and it was frustrating. It was so disappointing because I know someone has told me that this is what a bookline draw, but I didn't know how. Then until of course I studied Endgame, learned about opposition and stuff. The two techniques how to stop this one. Let's talk about it. Okay, the first technique is every time. Okay, this is simple technique that you have to remember. Every time the king is at the back and we're here or behind the pawn, never ever leave these two squares. Just play along these two squares every time the king is at the back of the pawn or is behind the pawn. Never ever leave these two squares. If the king goes here, that is the only time you gonna go here to oppose the king. If the king goes here, that is the only time you gonna face the king opposition to stop and to block the king. Why? Because if you move here early, if you go here first, that is the moment, the right moment for black to win the game. That if you are playing black here, you will not just go here yet. You have to what? To play anywhere here until your opponent get what? Confused and lost the patience and let me go here first. And then you're gonna lose the game. If you are playing black here, you have to confuse your opponent. Play a little bit of trick. You have to use time. Just let your opponent to run off what? A patience and go here first. So let's check. If the white moves here first, I mentioned earlier, the black will oppose the white. And the king that opposes the king has the right to stay. Since the black opposes the white, so the black will stay here, and the king being opposed will have to move away. Cannot just say pass. There is no pass in chess, so you have to move away. So the white king has to move. Obviously, you cannot go here because the pawn will just move forward. Even though you move here, the pawn will just move forward and there's no way for you to go anywhere here because of the pawn. So this is the only square for the king, and sad life for white. So that is the reason why never ever go here early, or don't lose your patience. Just wait the black king to go here first before you oppose. So let's check. So since the black king is behind of the pawn, at the back of the pawn, you're gonna play along on these two squares. It's just a little bit like boring or tired. It's like, come on, only these two squares. It's kind of boring, but you have to if you want to force a draw. If you want to salvage the game, go here. Of course, the black will try to confuse you. Go here. Come on, attack my pawn. Go here. Keep going here. Go here. Go here. It's like, okay, this is kind of boring game. And once the king goes here, that is the only time you're gonna oppose the king. Why? If the black will decide to move forward the pawn, of course, you will not go here, but to go under the pawn, stop the pawn, and bingo. Stalemate. There is no way for black to protect without getting this stalemate. Of course, if you're gonna go anywhere here, white will just capture it. That's a clear draw. Even though that's a stalemate. That's a good save. So let's go back to our original position. Again, let me reiterate it again. Two techniques that you have to remember. Never ever go here first. Wait the king for you to oppose. And if the king is at the back or behind the pawn, just play along these two squares. Don't get what? Impatience. I know it's boring, but you have to you have to just a little bit patience, and you're gonna draw this game. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, don't forget to subscribe and follow my Facebook page. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.